is 3 at 3. Every business day, I bring you the unusual activity that our heat seeker algorithm has shown us. And as we have followed it and as we have posted it to our subscriber base, which measures in the tens of thousands, we share it with you for free every day at 3 p.m. So let's get into that, shall we? The first thing you need to know is that every broadcast is seen by an awful lot of folks. And so our lawyers demand that I give you this disclaimer, which says that every investment involves risk and that this is presented for informational and educational purposes only, full stop. As far as intellectual property rights, yes, we have intellectual property rights as far as trademarks, patents, registered marks, copyrights. We've got all of that. And we've got books too, by the way. So before you use any of the stuff that we've produced here or in the book, please ask us and then cite Market Rebellion. All right, there is Scott smirking, as Scott Wapner is wont to do, and Pete is down there in Florida. Maybe that's why Scott is smirking today, because Pete's down there in Florida where it's sunny and or it looks a little overcast maybe today, but it was 70 some odd degrees. And Scott's back in New York where it's much colder and supposed to get a foot of snow tomorrow. Ooh, I hope that doesn't happen because that's going to cripple up the city even more. But there was Pete on the halftime report today from Florida, and his first unusual activity was indeed Teck Resources. TECK is the symbol here. Teck Resources, 3% pop. There you see it from when it was a $6 stock back at the end of March, as it has run now to triple that price. Now they're buying the February 19 calls. What do you need to know? You need to know that February is a long time into the future. We're coming up on December expiration this week. So this is regular December expiration. It is a quad witch. And the next expiration of a full expiration, which happens the third Friday of a month, will be January and then February. So we're talking more than 2 full months into the future for these options. They are not aggressive on the time decay side, but nonetheless, I think since I would like to be in this one a while, that I will sell an option against the options that I buy. Now, they were buying the 19 options, folks. There is the stock at 1846. This is a one-day chart, a one full day. So you see the 14th yesterday through today at the same time. That stock has made a nice move already. We believe it will continue, and we're going to give it enough time. So that is the first of today's 3 at 3. As far as those of you who have signed up on YouTube, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. We do have our own YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube and you type in market and then the second word Rebellion, you will see our page. It will look much like you see right there, where we've got uploads from my brother Pete, The Take. Every day at 9:30 Central Time, Pete does The Take. That's 1 hour into the trading day. And you'll also see my 60-second video where when I'm crazy enough to be out and about at 5:30 in the morning, getting my workout in on the lakeshore, well, you'll see what I'm talking about and trading that morning. You'll also see 3 at 3. 3 at 3 is exactly what you're watching now. And compound interests. We had a great compound interest with Kevin O'Leary and J.R. Ron yesterday from MindMed, MMEDF. So you can get all of that, and it's all free if you go to YouTube and you type in Market Rebellion. Then you just hit subscribe. Just click right there on subscribe. And by the way, if you click on that bell, you will also get an alert every time new content goes up. That's only YouTube videos that'll get that, but our content is available on YouTube. We wanted to make you guys aware of that because so many of you have joined the YouTube Market Rebellion family. Thank you. let's do EEM, the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets ETF. Stock, or the ETF, is trading at 50 bucks. There's Pete talking about it. They were buying the February, again, 52 calls. They're giving it a little time, right? 52 calls. I was buying the 50 calls and selling upside against it. Same expiration though, February. That's the way I play it. You have to decide what's right for you. As you can see, back at the end of March, the EEM cratered at about 30, and it has been working its way north ever since. This is a chart for the EEM going back 5 days to the 8th last week. And as you see, the EM came down from a reading in the 51 area all the way down to 49.90 and has been working its way back up today. So that is the second of our 3 at 3. Also want to remind you that we have a free webinar tomorrow. It is completely free. There are no registration fees at all, no registering of credit cards or anything like that. And it's all about eliminating your trading blind spots. So if you'd like to build a portfolio and a plan for trading long-term success, this is a webinar for you. It's presented by Bill Johnson, our head of education, and Stu Dorfman, our head coach over at Market Rebellion. Please check it out. It is completely free. It will be on the close tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. This webinar kicks off, and we'll try to hold it to 50 minutes or an hour. It will not run longer. Thank you. Final trades. Well, one of the final trades was indeed Pete's unusual activity, but they were going to cover ETFs, but semiconductors, but they were unable to because I think they went off on a tangent. And for that reason, Pete was unable to talk about advanced micro, but he made it his final trade. You might recall that I did the same yesterday, not made it as my final trade, but made it as a 3 at 3. And how do I know? Well, because there were 2 bits of unusual activity yesterday. The first one, when the stock was 92.63, they were buying the end of December, the 31st of December 101 calls, and they were also buying the February 100 calls. So both of these with the stock 92.63 or, and that's the big yellow arrow there, or 94.63, exactly $2 higher. And then today, 2 hits as well. Somebody steps in, buys 12,000 of the 97 calls, and then steps in and buys more of the December 108 calls. So that's even more upside by the end of December. Now, I was already in. I added to it today. Here is a little chart of AMD, and there you see it from Thursday last week, the 10th, when it was sub 89. Then you see it moving up, 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 and now crossing through 97. Bang! That is the third of our 3 at 3. Thank you. If you'd like to learn more about how we choose unusual option activity, if you'd like to learn more and maybe even subscribe to Unusual Option Activity Elite, you can do that by going to marketrebellion.com/get started. You can see all about the offerings that we have for cryptocurrencies, for stocks, for options, for futures at marketrebellion.com/get started. Got questions? Well, we'd love to include your questions here. We try to do it every day. You just can send your questions to me on Twitter. That's at Jon Najarian, or you can send them to at 3@3_UOA. That is the @ 3, the AT at 3_UOA. Reading it off for those of you who are not following us on a visual and instead are just picking this up on one of the podcasts. So that's 3, the word at 3_UOA. Thank you. All right, let's get to this one. Judy Jones. Thank you, Judy. Also known as East Glacier, Montana, I guess. East Glacier MT. She responds to me and says, "You are always welcome down here in the Sunshine State as well." Well, Judy, thank you. I appreciate that. I love the Sunshine State. In all likelihood, I will have a house down there shortly. But I appreciate the offer. And if I'm in your neck of the woods, Judy, I would love to meet you and have a drink and explore some unusual option activity wins with you. Thank you. Benny Hill, his handle is OPTOINS, kind of like options spelled wrong, OPTOINS. He was responding to Pete, "Where did you broadcast from today? Was it the Ringling Museum? Sorry if I missed the mention earlier. Dr. J said you would do the show from Sarasota," and indeed he did. I'm not at liberty to say, but I will say it's a good friend of Pete's, and he is a person who runs a publicly traded company. So there's a little hint. Thank you for asking, Benny Hill. Love that, Benny Hill. This is our crypto app. It is on the Apple App Store. You can download it there. If you go to the App Store and type in Market Space Rebellion, you can get the app. It's great for crypto. For those of you who mocked me for the last 3 years after crypto, Bitcoin in particular, hit its zenith just over 19,000. Some said 20, I didn't. But 19,000, and then fell all the way back down below 4,000. That's when I was getting mocked. But since I bought more, since I now have hundreds of thousands of altcoins and maybe even millions of altcoins, I'm a pretty happy camper. If you'd like to be a happy camper in crypto, you could go to Market Rebellion on the Apple App Store and get our app. It will help you navigate. It will give you charting. It will give you access to chat rooms and so forth for crypto trading. Federal Express, FDX. Okay, Pete Najarian, Jon Najarian, Cannonballs, plural, 17 says, "Anyone interested in FedEx into earnings?" I am. I own FedEx. And it's been a heck of a ride. Just in the last few weeks, the stock's moved up through 285. And you know what? It has earnings in 2 days. It is today, the 15th. We are Tuesday. The earnings will be the 17th, Thursday. And they will be after the close. There you see that the upcoming company events, the December 17th post-market is when the earnings release will come. The estimates and so forth you see there on your screen. I like what FedEx has done. I think they will do well. I think that if you are so inclined and you're not in a taxable situation, pulling some off the table, not the worst thing in the world. If you're in a taxable situation, maybe you'd like to buy a put just under the market. As long as it's not in the money, you won't destroy your holding period. It can go in the money after you purchase it. But as long as when you buy that put, it is not in the money, it does not destroy your holding period, and you can sell upside calls against it into the earnings announcement here and thus be protected because you've got insurance under the market, that's the put, and you can sell calls against your stock, which there is no additional margin on that. Thank you. And lastly, Greg Hudson, and his handle is LHUD1968, asks, "Do you have an average date when the season tapers off? Is it sometime in mid-January or does it go through to earnings?" And he's talking about the Christmas shopping season, folks, because generally the Santa Claus rally carries us from today, the 15th. Ryan Dietrich put that out. Carries us from the 15th into the end of the year. When does it taper off? Yeah, usually in those first 2 weeks. Doesn't usually wait until earnings. That's when people have to earn their upside from then on. So I'd say yes, it usually does sort of continue into January. Thank you very much for asking, Greg. If you would like to learn more about unusual option activity, I would encourage you to go to marketrebellion.com/UOA. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA for unusual option activity. If you just remember, unusual option activity. It'll get you to the right spot on our website. We have multiple trades per day. We have one trade a day if that's a better subscription for you. We have a product that's one trade per week. We have so many different offerings at Market Rebellion that I encourage you to check them out, see which one best suits you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you had an entertaining time, and I hope you join us again tomorrow, because I'll be on the halftime report tomorrow, as well as posting up 3 at 3. Make sure you tune in. Please tell a friend. Join our YouTube channel. Join the rebellion. Thank you, folks. Bang.